it will open at 3 p.m. today after school, and all the PowerPoints that I've used, I've uploaded 2 of them. It's about physiological responses, so it's all there if you want to have a look. Okay, so before we start, maybe today you are just going to have a look at all the theories, so it can be a little bit boring. So theories of emotions. This is the last part of emotion chapter. So there are a lot of theories on emotions, but there are 2 parts. So first group of psychologists, they argue that emotion is innate biological basis. So when you're born with your basic emotions. That's one theory that we're going to have a look at. Another one is that there are cognitive factors or thought processes in emotional experience. So that's the second theory that we're going to have a look at. So it says it really depending on how individuals interpret the experiences, the real life experiences. So the first one is Robert Plutchik's theory. So what he's arguing is that all the basic emotions are innate. When you are born, it's there already. And he also found out a set of basic emotions. You know how we talked about basic emotions and how every psychologist has different theories and different basic emotions to came up with? And also it's directly related to some pattern of adaptive behavior which enhances our survival. We'll have to look at this later after we talk about all the basic emotions that he came up with. So that was his basic theories. And if you remember this table, when we were talking about basic emotions, we had much of that. So he said there are 9 basic emotions. So fear, anger, disgust, surprise, joy, sadness, anticipation, and acceptance. So those are the basic emotions that Plutchik came up with. And he said these emotions, you're born with it. So with emotions, he said that there are 4 characteristics for every emotion. So emotions, all the emotions are either positive or negative. So for example, joy or sadness. Secondly, it's primary or mixed. So if you feel sadness or if you feel surprise, that's the primary emotions that you feel. But when you have sadness and surprise together, then it's a mixed emotions, so you might feel something else. Third characteristic is that it's vary in intensity. We had a look at all different intensity with anger on the scales, with annoyance, anger, and rage. So you can tell those 3 words are all related to anger, but annoyance is low intensity, anger is in the middle, rage is high intensity. And also there are polar opposites which cannot happen at the same time. So with joy and sadness, they are happening to you, but you can't feel joy and sadness simultaneously. So those are polar opposites that cannot happen at the same time. So these are 4 characteristics that he came up with the emotions. And all of the emotions, according to his theory, all of the emotions have these 4 characteristics. So he came up with a color wheel with these 4 characteristics. So it's a diagram that you can actually see his theory easily. And the color code he used were red, blue, and yellow. So these are 3 basic colors, and he mixed different colors to came up with a new color. So each color represents the emotions. So there are 8 basic emotions and 4 pairs of opposite. So red, yellow, and blue. These are 3 basic colors that he came up with. And then when you mix red and blue, it goes to green. And when you mix them, you came up with orange, purple, and green. So you come up with different emotions with the colors. So when you have anger and joy together, together, you feel anticipation. When you, somewhere between joy and fear, it's acceptance. Between fear and sadness, you'll be surprised. So that's the color wheel that he used to express his emotions. So there are 8 basic emotions. These are the basic emotions: joy, acceptance, fear, surprise, sadness, disgust, anger, and anticipation. And there are 4 pairs of opposites which cannot happen simultaneously. So in here, we had a look at polar opposites. So this shows what kind of emotions cannot happen simultaneously. So for example, joy cannot happen with sadness at the same time. You cannot feel fear and anger at the same time. So it's in the opposite directions. You can see what kind of emotions cannot happen together.